Great work, Donald. You had one job. Just allow your propagandists to go out there and spread the multi-pronged lie attack that they're trying to wage on the debate. Donald Trump couldn't even handle that. I mean, they're out there saying President Biden's taking drugs. They're out there saying that the debate's going to be rigged. They're out there saying that CNN is fake. They're out there saying it's going to be 3 against 1. And they're out there also saying, look, the way Donald Trump is preparing for this debate, what they're saying is he's doing interviews with hostile interviewers to prepare for the rigged debate that they claim is going to take place, because everything they have to do is claim everything is rigged and whine. So let me just show you the sequence of what goes down. You have Trump campaign spokesperson Caroline Leavitt gives an interview on Jesse Waters' show, and she's asked, how's Donald Trump preparing? She says, by doing hostile interviews. Here, play this clip.
What is Donald Trump doing to prepare?
President Trump is continuing with his very busy schedule. Over the past week, he has given hours-long speeches to crowds of thousands in 3 different cities. He's met with policy advisors to talk about the issues that matter to Americans. He's taken questions directly from Americans at a cheesesteak shop in Philly on Saturday afternoon. So he's continuing to engage in hostile media interviews with the press over the next couple of days, like he always does, hosting private meetings, raising money. He's continuing with the campaign because
Okay, quite literally, while Donald Trump's campaign spokesperson, Caroline Leavitt, is saying that, Donald Trump is doing an interview with his own former campaign manager, who's now hosting a show on Newsmax. And while Donald Trump is on that show, he's saying some of the most unhinged stuff with no pushback at all. Sounds really ready for the debate. Like when Donald Trump is in this hostile interview with his former campaign manager, Lewandowski, here Donald Trump talks about how there's hundreds of thousands of deaths are happening at the border like every day. I mean, that's not what's happening here. Play this clip.
But we lose think of it, hundreds of thousands of people are dying at our border, coming through our border every year because of our border.
Must be a very hostile interview with Corey Lewandowski. It's a very weird interview with Corey Lewandowski. There was a moment where it seemed like Donald Trump was just going to quite literally pass out during this interview when Corey Lewandowski was asking him a question. Here, watch this.
Made some recommendations that maybe Joe Biden has to have a drug test before this debate. You've made some great remarks, and let me just remind our viewers kind of what you've said and what your take is on it. Oh, sir, I think you said that Joe might need a shot to stay up for the debate. I hear that he's practicing standing for 90 minutes is his debate prep. A little different, I think, than what you're used to at some of the rallies you've participated in recently.
Well, if I have to practice standing, we have ourselves a big problem. No, I had heard that too. He's practicing how to stand or something, standing.
Seems like a very, very hostile interview. By the way, just to remind you about Corey Lewandowski's background, he was accused of making unwanted sexual advances to a major female Trump donor in the past. And then he was charged with misdemeanor battery and cut a deal with prosecutors. He cut a deal on a charge stemming from this alleged sexual misconduct regarding a Republican donor. Also, in 2016, Corey Lewandowski was arrested and charged for grabbing a female reporter's arm, which then he and Donald Trump denied, despite it actually being on a videotape. Just, may I show you this? And then I got to show you what else Fox did. Just watch this, though, and then we'll be back. Play it.
Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski has been charged with simple battery by Florida police, who say surveillance video shows Lewandowski grabbing journalist Michelle Fields at a campaign event. Earlier this month, after Fields accused Lewandowski of assaulting her, he responded with a tweet saying, "Michelle Fields, you are totally delusional. I never touched you. As a matter of fact, I have never even met you. Lewandowski continued to tweet about Fields, calling her an attention seeker and questioning her journalistic integrity. Fields responded on Twitter with this picture of her bruised arm, writing, "I guess these just magically appeared on me." Trump released a statement saying Lewandowski is absolutely innocent of this.
So I suppose if you want to consider a hostile interview dealing with someone like Lewandowski, I guess you could say Lewandowski is hostile, just not to Donald Trump. Let's take a look at the propaganda machine, though, that Fox is spewing. It is so bizarre. They bring on MAGA Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, who Donald Trump dressed up in a long red tie to show up at Donald Trump's criminal hush money falsification of business record case, because MAGA Mike, nothing says being a Bible-reading, God-fearing man than supporting someone who is with porn stars while their wife just gives birth and then covers it up, right? Isn't that what you and your son were hiding on your phone? No, never mind. In any event, here is MAGA Mike Johnson talking about, again, the lies that they say Biden's going to be on drugs. Biden's going to be on drugs. Here, play this clip.
Your thoughts on the debate, which Joe Biden, you weren't even able to introduce him, as is custom, during the State of the Union. You know, it's your distinct honor, privilege, pleasure to introduce the President of the United States. He just got up there and went 1,000 miles a minute, yelling and screaming and racing through that speech. Okay, good night, folks, done. We'd never seen that guy before. We haven't seen him since. Are we going to see him on Thursday night? Is that Joe coming back?
We'll see. I expect he's going to be up on energy drinks or whatever they're going to give him. And he did. He was overly aggressive at the State of the Union. It was pretty painful to sit behind him and experience that. And he jumped right over the introduction because he was so hyped up. I expect.
Again, it's just so. Is there anything more pathetic than that? Oh, wait. Yes. In the same interview, MAGA Mike Johnson says that he and other members of Congress are working on an amicus brief to the United States Supreme Court on behalf of Steve Bannon. Play this clip.
Mr. Speaker, I understand there might be a change in position regarding how the House and their stance on the January 6th committee, and it might be regarding Steve Bannon, and it may have a big impact on his contempt case. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, we're working on filing an amicus brief in his appellate work there in his case, because the January 6th committee was, we think, wrongfully constituted. We think the work was tainted. We think that they may have very well covered up evidence and maybe even more nefarious activities. We've been investigating the committee itself. We disagree with how Speaker Pelosi put all that together. We think it violated House rules. And so we'll be expressing that to the court. And I think it will help Steve Bannon in his appeal.
Oh, my God. This Republican Party is nuts. It is a group of freaking lunatics. I mean, you go, Ben, don't do the name calling. When you see stuff like that, what are we supposed to say? You watch the Bannon podcast War Room and the types of things he says. I mean, Bannon defied a congressional subpoena. He's found in contempt of Congress by a jury. He was pardoned by Donald Trump in connection with the We Build the Wall scam. Then he's been charged in New York on the We Build the Wall scam. But just take a look at MAGA Mike right there. It is so utterly pathetic. Here, by the way, you've got the Fox contributors talking about how it would be great if all negative posts on social media pressured the moderators, Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, to be influenced and not go hard on Donald Trump. Here, play this clip.
No doubt. Thinking about Jake Tapper and CNN, though, Charlie, today there were, I believe, nearly 250,000 posts talking about Jake Tapper. He's been trending for 2 days on X, and not in a positive way. People pointing out that he's been so unfair to Trump, pointing out his statements. Do you think that weighs on him at all? Do you think maybe he will come out and try to play this straight, because there is some pressure on him right now?
It would be great if he was, but I don't think that they care. I think that they get lauded, as you know better than anybody. They get lauded among their peers by being nasty and unfair.
And have you ever seen more whining than this crew. Here you've got Hannity continuing the pressure campaign on the moderators. This is fake. That's fake. You're fake. This is fake. Play this clip.
This debate is not Trump versus Biden. It's Trump versus Biden and fake Dana Bash and fake Jake Tapper and dozens of CNN producers and probably CNN management.
It's just that the default for everything with them is whining over and over again. But can I tell you why I feel so confident right now in democracy? Democracy is bipartisan. And on this show, on the MeidasTouch network, it's not about Democrat, Republican, progressive, liberal. That's not where I care about normalcy. I care about democracy. I care about bringing people together. So I'm not sure. Did you see my interview that I did with Kyle Sweetser? Two-time Trump voter, now a Nikki Haley voter, who's like, just listen to what they're saying. He's like, pay attention to their words because they ain't conservative. There's nothing conservative about it. It's a great interview with Kyle. Watch this short clip. Play it.
The longer you stare at Trump and his record, the worse it gets. So, Trump's cozying up to foreign, basically adversaries. He's, oddly enough, some people don't like me saying this, but he's less conservative than Biden on fiscal responsibility. He added $8 trillion to the debt, even without COVID. He's not fiscally responsible. He gave people a license to act bad out in the open, and I think that the MAGA movement just needs to be destroyed. And I think any rational person that starts listening to Trump instead of directly, instead of having someone else regurgitate what Trump says, I think if you listen to Trump and then you listen to Biden speak, it's night and day. There's no comparison. Trump is unhinged and he's just not fit to lead. Certainly not fit to be the president of the United States.
Well, while all of that's going on, I'm getting emails like this from Donald Trump. I did a whole hot take on it, but it's messages like this. He goes, "There's no debate. I love Ben. I love you." He goes, that's what he's sending to supporters. I love Ben. Here's what I'm telling you. Some pathetic stuff. Or he goes, "Ben, I need you to prepare me for the debate. Obviously, I need to speak with you." Wow. Wow. I can't wait to get back to normalcy, folks. I'm looking forward to the debate. We'll see if Donald Trump shows. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.
Enough! Send him to the big house, not the White House. Get the new exclusive tees, mugs, and stickers right now at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.